What's up, fantasy managers? This is our reaction video to week 12, where we're going to talk about some news that happened from the weekend. We got some trade targets. We got our start of the weeks. We got the smashes and crashes for the players who did well and the players who did crappy. That interests you? I know it does. Stick around for 7 seconds.
Hey, what's up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard Ethan Wolf, coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone. Today's episode, Jason, it is our week 14. Or no, wait, is it week 14? No, week 13. We're talking about trades, trade targets, who you should trade away, maybe try to trade for. Jason, we have our smashes and our crashes. If you had a player that did shitty, go down to the crashes. He will be there, maybe. And you can see what happened with him. If you had a player that did amazing, let us know about it. We will congratulate you, or go and see if he's on our list of smashes, Jason. We will also be going over our starts of the week and how awesome we did. Jason, before we get into everything, would you please tell the public how they can help this show? Because we need it.
Yep. If you guys made it this far, if you guys could please hit the subscribe, press the like. We like the likes. If there's any players on your team that smashed or crashed, or any trade questions you might have, let us know in the comments. We love the interaction. Plus, if you're into the radio, we're also on Spotify, the Fantasy Red Zone.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you. We have the news for yous. That is our New Jersey segment. Or when I watch, if I was in the Mafia, I would say use a lot. So, Jason, first off, I was like, man, where the hell's my shit? Panthers, they are firing Frank Reich. They do have the offensive coach. CJ Stroud went to the defensive coach. He is killing it. And they're like, well, he has all the weapons. Well, it's like, hey, man, CJ Stroud made these people weapons. It's not like people were talking about Nico Collins being a fucking weapon. And now he's a weapon. So we don't know who is to blame. I do think that is a terrible move to keep on firing these fools, Jason. Because, at least let it marinate a couple, I don't know, 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, I think they're trying to they're trying their best to make Bryce Young that worth of a pick, because they gave up so much for him. And right now they're 1-10, and they're like, all right, we got to already fuel the jet, and get this motion going, because we need him to be good, because we gave up so much for it. And it starts with the head coach. He gone. They also fired the quarterback coach too. And I think the running backs coach too.
Yeah. It's a special teams coach is now in charge. I never heard anything good about the special teams. Hey, maybe they're good. But yeah, dude. So what'd you say?
He's a specialist.
Yeah. But I was just thinking, like, Chuba Hubbard, man. It's like he's probably just as good as Devin Singletary and all this shit. It's like things are very similar here, but still. But yeah, moving forward, what was I gonna say, man, about Tank Dell or something? It doesn't really matter. Jason, Chris Olave, he went off. I was like, you don't want to start Olave, man. Start Puka Nacua over Olave. I was telling everybody that on Sunday morning. I effed up, dude. But Olave is in concussion protocol. Rashid Shaheed left with a knee injury, and Michael Thomas is on IR, Jason. So, dude, that is crazy, isn't it? That like the whole wide receiver core for the Saints are injured.
Yeah, and that's the reason why Olave was doing so well. Mike Thomas wasn't playing, and Rashid was trying. He got hurt early, and he tried to play, and then he got tackled a few more times, and I think he said that was it. But at the time, in the first half, he had no one else to throw the ball to except Chris Olave.
That's what I wanted.
He went out with concussion, dude. He never came back. I don't think he ever came back in the second half.
No, dude. And I think the last time there were passing touchdowns, it was Jameis Winston had 2, and then the one before that was Taysom Hill. Derek Carr, dude. Baco boy. Butthole of America. Cannot score a touchdown right now. Jason, I was going to say, Bryce Young, looking at his stats, I can't remember if he's like 11 touchdowns and X amount of interceptions. Jalen Hurts, they were putting up like a meme, like which quarterback is which, has 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Just goes to show how much, having a rushing game with your passing game helps you in the narrative of the NFL, because he is doing pretty similar to Jalen Hurts in the air, Jason. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but you said it best. It's the rushing touchdowns that's really helping Jalen Hurts. I saw some stat. He has one of the top 4 rushing touchdowns in like 3 years, with like Steve Young and Cam Newton. Yes, rushing touchdown. He had like 11 last year. I think he's already surpassed that this year.
Dude, yeah, I know it's like the fucking Eagles in general had like 32 rushing touchdowns last year. The next step had like 16. I can't remember what it was. Something crazy. Jason, Justin Jefferson, we are shooting this Monday night. He is not playing tonight, but he did say he probably will return after the bye next week. They are at Las Vegas. I tried to trade for Justin Jefferson for a while. Would you try to trade for him right now, Jason, knowing that he's going to be back? That is what week? That's week 13.
Week 14.
Week 14. The playoffs start week 15.
That's a good question. That's pretty. I don't know if I. Yes, I guess depending on the circumstances, because I do believe he's like the best wide receiver in the league. But Dobbs has showed that he could play on that Vikings defense, but is it going to be worth it? Like he's coming back after he's going 7 games, 6 games.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised, Jason, if Hawkinson was a big benefactor out of this, and he just gets all the 14 targets, and Justin Jefferson gets 8.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that would not surprise me. So I would probably not try to trade for Justin Jefferson right now. The people that traded in our league went Jamar Chase for Justin Jefferson. Jason, I think I'd rather have Justin Jefferson than Jamar Chase right now. I was just talking about how Jamar Chase should have been failed tremendously, but he was catching balls that were bouncing off people's helmets.
Yeah. Sure was.
Yeah, and then Jason, MRI on Baker's ankle came out negative. He is just sore. He should be fine. I thought this was big news for Mike Evans. Mike Evans is just I don't know how many yards away he is from 1,000 yards. He's had 1,000 yards in each of his 10 seasons in the NFL. But man, this guy is a top 10 wide receiver, I'm pretty sure, something like that. Jason, I thought he was going to be a bust. You convinced me of it because you kept on sending me videos of Baker Mayfield sucking the D in preseason. So I blame you. But man, Mike Evans owners out there, continue to start him with confidence. Man, I thought Godwin was going to be the main dude. It seems like it is Mike Evans.
I had Mike Evans, wide receiver 25, going in. I thought he was going to get the receiving yards, but not these touchdowns. I didn't think the touchdowns were going to be coming.
Long touchdowns, Jason. I mean, that's what he was doing with Tom Brady, and it's crazy that he continues to do that. He's just a great wide receiver.
Yep. Pretty damn good.
And then, Jason, speaking of great wide receivers, Amari Cooper, though, this fool's getting effed in the B. Had ribs x-rayed yesterday. He should be fine. But ever since Deshaun Watson, I mean, you saw all the stats. It was 17 points per game with Deshaun Watson, 8 without. It is continuing. And now my next step was DTR, Dorian, I forget his name. But that rookie they drafted that can run and throw.
Yeah. Thomas
he is in concussion protocol, Jason, and so it's just dude, yeah, Amari Cooper, if you can try to trade him away for anything off of that name value, I would try to do that, man. I don't know, I can't even throw out somebody in mind right now, but I would try to do that.
Dude, he got laid out, that quarterback.
Yeah, they said that it was him, and then Demario Douglas supposedly got laid out too, but I'm not one of those re-injury. I don't like watching injuries for some reason, Jason. I'm not really into it. Hey, yeah. I will say, did you see Tua's? I was like, not safe for work, man. Did you see that cut on his arm? I looked at it and I was like, that did not even faze me. I can't watch anything gruesome. I ran out of Saw 2, Jason. Ran out of there.
You didn't even finish. You had your head down in Saw 1.
Dude, yeah. That was a great movie.
He's sawing off his leg. I was like, bro, look. And you're like,
mm-mm. I just like the storyline. I just want to know who the killer is.
I just like the storyline. Game over.
But yeah, dude, that Tua cut was not that bad. It looked like somebody just photoshopped it. It was, whatever. That shit was crazy. He had a huge bandage on it, Jason. But yeah, anyways, back to the news for yous. Aaron Jones, Jason, still not practicing after missing the Thanksgiving thing. I forgot that he sprained his MCL. That's what it is. That's what was written on the interweb, Jason.
Yeah. It was. It looked like it was a lot worse when he was getting carted off the field and crying. I thought ACL.
Dude, if you can package, let's see. We'll package the next 3, Jason. T. Higgins has a good chance to play next week versus Jacksonville. He found his way to the waiver wire, dude, when Joe Burrow was quarterback on my 10-man league. I picked him up. I started him his one good game, and he's been injured since. Jason, you might as well package him with Aaron Jones and Amari Cooper and try to trade for Tank Dell or something.
Yeah. He's coming back, but he's not coming back to Joe Burrow.
Just package it all, dude. Package Aaron
Yeah.
Jones, Amari Cooper, T.
It's just like
Higgins.
a big old med kit. It's just a
Hell,
med
dude.
kit.
But throw Justin Jefferson in there too. Try to go get you some CMC and some Tyreek Hill or something.
Yeah.
I doubt it. All right, Jason. So that is the news. Is there anything off the top of your head that you can? Where is my marker? Oh, right there. That I'm missing. I can't. It seemed like there's usually some devastating injuries, that we're going over.
Yeah, I think the only one I was really wondering about was Kenneth Walker. If he's planned on playing on Thursday, since I got to do like a player pause on him, but no update yet. Apparently,
no. But we can talk about him real fast because I do want to say a hot topic is still Kenneth Walker, Jason, for trades. And so I am a Kenneth Walker owner. Do you have anything queued up for Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, you talking about for some trades?
Yeah, because I do want to talk about this. I think that it was a huge win for us Walker owners. That Charbonnet did not blow up. I think they did go against the 49ers, Jason. Right? Yeah, they did.
Yep.
But Charbonnet was held in check, thank God. And he got, 89% of the snaps or rushing share or whatever. So he owned that. I was waiting for him to go off, Jason, and then I was screwed. What's his name will be the backup for forevermore, Kenneth Walker. But now I'm kind of encouraged, and this schedule is such a gauntlet, Jason. I don't know. If I was a Kenneth Walker owner, which I am, I probably am not trading him away. He has a shitty next 2 weeks, but he's probably going to be injured for one of them. And then you get into his playoff schedule. He has a very average playoff schedule. So the gauntlet that I was talking about, like 3 weeks of hell with Charbonnet coming up, he already made it through 1 week, Jason. And Charbonnet did not do anything to take that job away.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to miss some time and have your backup play, it's best when he's going up against the Niners twice and the Cowboys.
Yeah, dude. So, I mean, would I trade, Kenneth Walker for any of those three I was talking about? If somebody sent me, hey, Amari Cooper and Aaron Jones for Kenneth Walker, would I do that? No, I would not do that. Even though Green Bay Packers are playing well again, if Aaron Jones is fully healthy, I probably would. But, Jason, we talked about this. He had his hamstring issue, came back, Keenan Allen, that motherfucker. And now he sprained his MCL. So it's just dude, I probably wouldn't want to. It's got to be the right situation for me to trade away Kenneth Walker. It's probably not going to happen because people do not value Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, some trades that happened today, Tyler, with Kenneth Walker's that I see two of them, and they were Kenneth Walker for Gus Edwards.
Dude, and that is interesting because I was actually gonna put this. This was actually, I wanted to talk to you about this, Jason, because I wanted to add this later. Keaton Mitchell. He should be a trade target for you. I think he outsnapped everything Gus Edwards yesterday. That was the tweet that I saw, unless it was a bad tweet, but I'm pretty sure it was a good tweet because I only follow 3 people. It's like PFF, Zach, whatever, good people. So, Jason, I think that you could get Gus Edwards cheap, and it could very easily turn around. I think it is a good time to trade for Ravens running backs. I would take the chance on Keaton Mitchell because, dude, he did not blow up again. He had those good 2 weeks, but dude, I don't know, man. Let me look at their playoff schedule. Have you looked at their playoff schedule?
I think we have. I
have it right. I already had it queued up. Oh, yeah, dude, they've got the 30th, so they have the 3rd worst running back schedule. But I remember saying Keaton Mitchell, dude, he's not the kind of guy that I worry about so much as far as that. He just needs the touches, and now he's getting the touches, Jason. So. Yeah, but would you trade Kenneth Walker for Gus Edwards? I would.
I think I would too, because I think the one thing we've seen throughout this season is Gus Edwards is the goal line back. That's where he gets majority of his points, where he's scoring at 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns a game.
Yeah, dude, and it's this offense is so good. This defense is so goddamn good, man. You saw what they did to the Chargers. Oh my God. The Chargers should have scored some points. Unless they're in division, because Ravens in division, that AFC North, it's who knows, dude? That might be a 30-30 game or something like that. Just with the Cleveland Browns. Even look at the Pittsburgh Steelers now, probably. But when they're out of their division, man, they have been killing people. And yeah, dude, they go big. They still have that Ricard guy, Jason. He's an offensive lineman that they use as fullback like 90% of the time.
He just so you know, Gus Edwards had 5 games with a rushing touchdown leading up to Sunday night. And then but then he didn't get a touchdown, and he only ended up with 3 points.
So he is touchdown dependent, Jason. But like, Gus Edwards to me is not like now he moved from like probably like a running back high end running back 2-ish to a flex, because flexes are the guys that are touchdown dependent. But he is a high ceiling flex, man. He could get 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, against Arizona, he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, Jason, Kenneth Walker for Gus Edwards. I might try to do that today. I was going to send out some Keaton Mitchell trades as well. So if you want to throw Keaton Mitchell on there too, man. So I think that the Ravens running backs are trade for right now, Jason. I think that Kenneth Walker is a trade away if you're doing that. But people do not value Kenneth Walker. You should hold. He's going to be, who knows if he's going to even be playing next week. But I don't think Charbonnet is actually going to take this job over after watching what I watched.
Yeah, like I said before too, he only saw 8 men in the block, 8+ men in the box, only 7% of the time against the Niners.
Dude. I remember you telling that stat, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude!"
Yeah,
it was good work, Jason. Good stats.
And he was all his like rushing yards over expected were in the negative. So now looking good.
Jason, do you have any more, or should we just go on to the next guy?
Let's do one more. More because I'm kind of curious about this one. Ty Chandler, Kenneth Walker for Najee Harris.
Oh, I would keep Chandler. I actually like Chandler because you know me, man. I do not like Madison, and I know Madison looks good every once in a while. But when I watch Chandler, dude, it's like, dude, why is this guy not getting more playing time? Maybe he's not a good pass protection blocker or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
But he's a second-year player, and he looks so much better than Madison. Like, I really like holding Chandler just to see for the fantasy football playoffs, dude, see how that goes for you. I know they don't have a great schedule for that, but I do not want Najee Harris after one good game, Jason. And Jaylen Warren, I think, started that game, dude. So it's like I just don't want to fuck with. I don't want a piece of that right now, dude. I mean, I would start Freiermuth because tight ends suck, and I would start Deontay, even though he's taking crazy pills like I was talking to you about yesterday, Jason.
Yeah. He also tried to fight Fitzpatrick.
Dude. It sounds just like Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Too many injuries. That's what happens when he doesn't get touchdowns.
Ravens RBs. And then, Jason, what did we just say? Oh, that was for Najee Harris. Yeah, screw that one. All right, guy. All right, man. Next one I want to talk about, Jason. This is a question from one of our good listeners, and everybody's good that listens to us, but this guy actually participates. Tank Dell and Alvin Kamara, Jason, for Amon-Ra St. Brown. He asked us on our trade special last week. I was like, dude, I would probably do that.
I would do that. Hit that button, hit that trade.
Like, dude, locked in.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sorry, keep on going.
No. I agree with you. What you're saying is exactly the reason why I would smash that trade is because Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to get his every week.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you had a question. And then Alvin Kamara, even on his bad games, like he's still getting you like 10, 11, 12 points.
Dude, and like, but it's the offense has been stalling out so bad for the Saints. So when he first came back, they were scoring touchdowns. Their touchdowns, I forget the stats, dude, but they're like the lowest scoring. They're like the fucking Patriots right now, dude. So like, if you can get out of there and get a high scoring offense like the Lions. But like the thing about that, you know, is like if Kamara was ripping off 100-yard games, Jason, I would feel good about it. If Tank Dell was 100, I'd feel good about it. Amon-Ra he just had 8? He's leading the league in 100-yard games, man. Like, I just want that consistency, and I think that he was in a half-point PPR. So anything PPR-ish, give me Amon-Ra.
Exactly, the go-to guy for the Lions.
Yeah,
I would do that trade for sure.
And I am an Amon-Ra owner in a PPR league, dude. I have him and Justin Jefferson, and it would have been a good year. But still, Dude, Amon-Ra is just so valuable. Every time I look down, it's like 20-something points, 20-something. Like, he doesn't even catch a touchdown. It's like 20 points. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? This is crazy. So, we love 2-for-1s, Jason. We love getting the best player out of the deal. I don't give a fuck what you trade for him. It's like you get, as long as you have a little bit of depth, you're not just like sacrificing your everything. It's always best. You win the trade if you get the best player.
You want me to give you some? Let's do like 2 for Tank Dell.
Yeah, because I think Tank Dell, I was hoping that he was going to do bad this week, so maybe I could try to trade for him or something, but not the case. And he is the biggest candidate to be like that Amon-Ra, or I forget who it was last year. There was a big Reddit question. There's 2 people. Shit. Can't remember who the person that like won people leagues last year. And then the next thing up was like, no, those guys were like lingered on the waiver wire. Now people's vote is Jalen Hyatt, Jason. So
what?
Don't worry about it.
I'm so confused. Jalen
Tank Dell, Jason. Tell me some shit with Tank Dell.
Okay. Tank Dell, Jerome Ford for Saquon Barkley.
Oh, I would keep Tank Dell and Jerome Ford. Saquon Barkley, man. That fool lives off of volume, and now he's not getting the volume.
That's exactly what we're going to talk about. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, that trade is stupid. Trade is stupid. Okay, here we go. Tank Dell, Michael Pittman for Justin Jefferson.
I would keep both Michael Pittman and Tank Dell because, like I said, I mean, Justin Jefferson has a chance. I mean, there was like a 10% chance he's going to step in and get over 10 targets a game. Yeah. There's a real chance with Addison and Hawkinson, and they already have rapport with Dobbs. I mean, shit, dude, Dobbs has never even thrown a pass to Justin Jefferson in his life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So it's just like, I would just avoid trying to trade for Justin Jefferson, coming from a Vikings fan and a Justin Jefferson owner.
I got one for you. Last one. Tank Dell for Kyren Williams.
Oh, yeah, dude. So it's so stupid. I was like, why did I not? I'm all about trading for running backs when they're injured and they're going to be coming back later in the year, because it's like, hey, man, I'll give you a starter right now. You can start this piece of shit. Just give me that good guy on your IR. Yeah. And I don't know why I forgot about Kyren Williams, man. I mean, I was picking up Darrell Henderson and all that shit. I should have been pushing trading for Kyren Williams. I think it's because you own him, Jason, and I just like, I know, you never, it's like, you don't trade with it. We're not going to trade. So for some reason, I was just thinking that maybe, but I would have been pushing, man, trade for Kyren Williams, man. And I was really excited about him starting. I told everybody to start him, and he fucking killed it. Yeah, dude, try to trade whatever you can for Kyren. Like, he's a top 5 running back because that's what he is.
Okay, that's it.
All right, Jason. Next up, this was a question, and I think you might have a hard time getting your value now, but this was one of our big trade aways, Jason. Tua. And somebody's like, should I trade Tua for Kyler because they watched our show? And I said, yes, that sounds great.
Yeah.
But like, if you can get package Tua, dude, if you have to package Tua, do it. Or whatever you have to do, man. And upgrade your quarterback situation. Kyler Murray is probably a good candidate because they have like one of the top 3 easiest fantasy playoff schedules. But I mean, even Joshua Dobbs, dude, or something. I would try to get away from who was I talking about, Jason?
Tua.
Yeah, Tua. I would maybe even try to get a trade Tua for Dobbs and something, and just roll with Dobbs out there.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if you can get someone like Kyler Murray, who's like, he's only 2 or 3 games in right now. Like, this dude's just getting warmed up. This is week 3 for Kyler Murray, man. Wait till he gets to the playoffs and he's like back to his final form. I feel like he's going to be destroying things up with his adjusted strength of schedule.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's getting rushing touchdowns, too, which is just crazy to me.
Yeah. And Tua's schedule does not look good.
Oh, Tua's going to... he's got Tyreek Hill. And I would say, hey, would you try to trade away Tyreek Hill? I wouldn't, but at the same time, you could probably get the biggest haul of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the only way I would trade away Tyreek Hill is if fucking CMC was involved, and that's probably just a straight up trade, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Let's do
I
some
would do
trade. Oh,
I would do that. I would. Well, of course, I'd rather have CMC because he's number one on our top whatever list.
I got a good one for you here.
All right, what is it?
This one's pretty easy. Tua and Cortland Sutton for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, dude, I would do that, but I didn't check to see if Sutton actually caught a touchdown yesterday.
He didn't. He didn't.
Yeah, because I know that's like he's been touchdown dependent for the most part. They've just been running the hell of the ball, and then he's been good in the red zone. But yeah, man, I would package those two and upgrade to who was it again?
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah, fucking A, dude. And you're gonna get Patrick Mahomes for cheap right now. So,
all right, number 2, Tua and Kyren Williams for Dak Prescott.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I would rather. Okay, if you think about this in redraft, I was like, dude, Kyren Williams right now, like, I should probably know. I don't think he's going to be a top round. He is worth like he's worth like a first round pick right now, even though he's not going to be a first round pick next year. If that makes sense. But dude, yeah, who was it again? It was for
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, no, I would keep Kyren if you could, but then you think about the point differential, Jason. But then, like, dude, Kyren's going to be scoring like 20 points a game again. So it's like that over your other running backs is huge too. I would just risk it and take Kyren because running backs are a fucking wasteland and just go after try to get some other cheaper quarterback.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot for Dak Prescott, man.
He's got to be in Buffalo in the playoffs too. Prescott.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
Another one.
Last one. Would you do Tua for TJ Hawkinson?
That shouldn't even be a trade. But yes, I would do that in a heartbeat.
All of these are trades that happen. So,
dude, I'm like, yeah, if you could, yeah, it's funny doing that for a tight end, anyways. But yeah, dude, like, I would rather have Kyler Murray. And if somebody said, would you want Hawkinson for fucking Kyler Murray? I would say yes. Then I would trade Travis Kelce for something. And I would just roll with Hawkinson because Hawkinson's fine, man. So Hawkinson's the number 2 tight end in the league right now. And he's in the same realm as Kelce. So, I mean, Kelsey's been doing worse. I don't know.
Okay. Just want to give you the list of the top 5 players most traded in the last 30 days. Starts with Derrick Henry, Kyler Murray, Devontae Adams, Tony Pollard, and at the top, Joshua Dobbs.
Dude, Derrick Henry's... I mean, I tried to trade for Derrick Henry a bunch, but man, then you watch it and you're like, holy shit, this is scary. Then you watch it again, it's like, oh, maybe I should trade for him. And then you watch it again, you're like, holy shit, I should not.
It's a roller coaster.
That is a bag of dicks right there. I mean, it's like, what are you going to grab, dude? Who knows? All right, Jason. Moving forward into, are you ready for... Oh, want to go over our starts of the week real fast?
Yeah.
Who is yours?
Tank Dell. Gotta get Dell, dude. Where are my... You're getting a Dell, dude. I got my Dell, dude. 5 receptions, 50 yards, 1 touchdown on 8 targets. He also had a rush for 12 yards, 17 points in PPR, 14.5 points for half-point PPR. Watching the game, I thought Dell was going to be a super smash because he received 90% of his points in the first half, but then it turned into a Nico Collins show. His separation was 2.9, which is good, and intended air yards was 15, which is good. And he had that with a 7-yard cushion average. You know, these stats are great for rookie wide receivers. When I was also watching the game, Tyler, I was thinking, like, when should I draft Tank Dell in 2004?
He's going to be... Yeah, he's going to be like a... Because you got to think about, you know, number 2 wide receivers that, like, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins. Those were all, like, second-round draft picks. They're not going to be fucking next year. But usually, if you're a top 15 wide receiver, you're getting picked in that second-round range. I would think he's going to be like, people are going to learn their lesson and take that guy in the 3rd or 4th.
I don't want to wait that long.
I don't either, man. But, I mean, Kenneth Walker, I was like telling people, I was like, why are you letting Kenneth Walker, you know, go behind second, like, second wide receivers on their own team. And I was like, dude, Kenneth Walker's a great deal. Keenan Allen is a great deal. Like, Keenan Allen's the number 1 wide receiver on his own team. He's like going. So it's like, I don't know. I just kind of scary.
All right, so this question is, you're talking about these players that the second wide receivers going early, but their number 1 wide receivers were going even before that. A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase.
Yeah, because Nico Collins is not going to go ahead of Tank Dell.
Right. So are you saying, that's what I was wondering. I
would see in that scenario, you know who I'm drafting? I'm waiting and grabbing Nico Collins.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's what I would do with all that shit. Like, let people draft the high, I think Charbonnet was even going before. Or no. That's not right. I can't remember what was happening. But like Raheem Mostert, man, or all this other shit. I can't remember what it was. I was going to say, let people grab the Bijans and you grab Algier. Or you grab both, Jason.
Yeah.
All right, my start of the week, Jason. Tank Dell, moving forward. Amazing play every week. Dude, CJ Stroud looks so goddamn good. I got to watch the end of that game. He looks like a vet, like trying to extend those drives, man. It was insane.
Yeah. When I was doing the start of the week, I also mentioned that there's a great chance that Nico Collins was going to have a great game too. He put up 20 points.
Yeah, he wasn't doing shit, and then all of a sudden he got like
flipped. It flipped by halves.
All right, Jason. Mine was Matthew Stafford. I gave you all those clean pockets. I was all Mr. Clean. I foresee all that bullshit. And man, Matthew Stafford had his best game as a Ram, probably. So yeah. Mine was a super smash. Yours was a smash. So starts of the week for us is great. Moving forward for Matthew Stafford, when I was going over their stats, dude, like their pass blocking over the last almost 3 or 4 weeks now has been like top 5 in the NFL, Jason. So I would not be afraid. I think that he is entering top 12 territory, maybe for quarterbacks down this playoff stretch. Plus, he's got an amazing playoff schedule too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this was by far his best game of the season. He finally threw some touchdowns, and it wasn't just one. What, he threw like 3, 4? I know 2 went to Higbee. Yeah. Oh, you're right, because 2 went to Williams. So he threw 4. It's crazy how Nakua and Kupp were the ones that didn't benefit from it.
Tight ends and running backs over there in Sean McVay's system.
Next week, they go against the Browns.
Yeah, not good. Am I going to start Puka? Yes.
Am I still going to start Kyren Williams? Yes.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to start Stafford next week because that's just too much pressure. And I saw Myles Garrett left in a sling, but I think he's going to be okay, is what I read. So
I think the game after that they play against the Ravens in Baltimore.
All right, Jason, you want to hit up our first smash?
Yeah, you didn't want to talk about your other players? They did pretty good.
Oh, my secret starts?
Well, I know Demarius Douglas was on his way, but then he got concussed. But I think at that time he still scored like 10 points.
Yeah, so Demario Douglas did well. Darius Slayton, I think, did something. Can't remember what it was.
He did like 3 points.
Yeah, that was shit.
It was your man. It was your Jalen Hyatt still in the show.
And I was so happy when I saw Jalen Hyatt. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, you're right. And then Shakur didn't do that well either against the Eagles. So
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so surprising because Jared Allen. We'll go over Jared Allen actually right now.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
so
Jared Allen too.
Yeah, I want to keep on going Demario Douglas every week for my secret start, but I can't. But I'm going to throw him in there. I was like, dude, you can get points from this dude. Took a huge hit. I think he's probably concussed or some shit. I don't know. It said he left with the head.
A severed head.
All right, Jason, let's get into the crashes smashes. You watched this last night. I watched a little bit. I mean, I watched most of it, I think. Oh no, I watched the whole goddamn thing because that's right. I wanted it to end so our waiver wire show would go out on time. We got to fix that. Josh Allen, Jason.
All right, Josh Allen. He, 1 second. ESPN projected him pretty high. Just let me get to my notes. ESPN projected him at 20 points. He finished with 41. 29 completions on 51 attempts, 339 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and with 9 rushes for 81 yards on 2 touchdowns with the 9 yards per carry. Like I said, he threw the ball 51 times in the pouring rain. It's like he had to throw the ball that much because there was James Cook cannot get the job done on the ground. He was only averaging like 2.7 yards per carry. His completion percentage was 56.9%, which is minus 7.4 above expectations with 1 interception. He now has an interception in 8 straight games. 11 games total he has an interception in. But he has 9 games of 20-point game. He has 9 20-point games and 2 40-point games this season. As quarterback 1, right now he has 28 more points than quarterback 2, which is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, dude. He's been amazing. I mean, Jalen Hurts, even with that 30 point game, he was the second highest rated PFF quarterback this week, right behind Dak Prescott at 93.3. Jason, they did change offensive coordinators last week to Joe Brady. Do you remember who Joe Brady was? Why he became famous?
No.
He was the LSU quarterbacks coach or offensive coordinator for Joe Burrow during that record-setting year.
College.
Yeah, hey, dude. This guy looks like he's got rapport, or he's doing a good job with Josh Allen the last 2 weeks, man. 25 points and 41-point fantasy games. And then, Jason, when I was looking at this, I thought this was pretty crazy. Josh Allen, 9 rushing touchdowns in the last 10 games. It's like every game except for 2. And he got 2 last night. So just crazy.
Yeah, last night too, I think it was like the first game where both quarterbacks had 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns in the same game. I think that was like the first time ever. Because Jalen Hurts could rush some touchdowns. It's not even a rush. You can't even say rushing touchdowns with Jalen Hurts. It's a push. He's got those pushing touchdowns too, man.
Yeah, he's lucky. I'm lucky that he gets all those rushing touchdowns. Otherwise, I'd be screwed.
Right.
But yeah, Jason. So as far as you see, like Hurts and Josh Allen next season, this is my big question to you. So they were going, we were like trying to pick him up in the second round, like top of third if we could, but we had to pick him up second because they weren't lasting until we were in the third. Would you pick up one of these quarterbacks again early next year?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I would too.
It would have to be. Now we're starting to see, because part of the thing was last year was like the rushing touchdowns for quarterbacks is huge, but Patrick Mahomes, he scores so much points, like his rushing touchdowns, him not getting rushing touchdowns does not matter. This year it matters because he's not playing up to Patrick Mahomes' level right now, and Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen, who's getting those rushing touchdowns, are just making him look like he should be like getting drafted in like the 3rd or 4th round compared to Allen and Hurts. So I still think, dude, they're scoring so many points right now, like second, 3rd round,
And it's and you have Justin Herbert, Jason, who's like quarterback 3 or some shit. So it's like,
yeah,
I mean, you're on that next tier, and it's like, there's a difference between him and these 2 quarterbacks that I'm talking about. So I just thought that was interesting when I was thinking about when I would want to draft these guys again. I'm like, dude, I would draft him again because at least with Josh Allen, I'm like, you're guaranteed to be a top 3 running back or a top 3 quarterback, I would think. But they're the only 2 running backs that rush the hell out of the ball that are also good otherwise. Because I'm thinking Dobbs runs the ball a lot and stuff, but man, it's like not like this. So yeah, dude, I would take Josh Allen first as the first quarterback next season, but I think that Jalen Hurts is right below him.
Yeah, I would think I would take him first too. There's also, they're still going to have this thing in the offseason that there might be taking away the brotherly push or whatever it's called.
Brotherly shove.
Brotherly shove. They're going to look into it again. So,
yeah. All right, Jason. So that was a question, since you can't really trade for or trade away Josh Allen. You're stupid. You can't trade him away.
Right.
Keep him. All right, Jason. Your dude. You picked him up when I picked up Nakua. It looks like I was like, dude, I got the better deal. Then it looked like you got the better deal. Then it looked like I got the better deal. Now it swung back to you, Jason. Congratulations. Kyren Williams. Talk about him.
Well,
smash.
Still probably you have the better deal because you've accumulated more points with your player than mine. But we'll see. Yeah, Kyren Williams. Woo! Been holding on to him for like 5 weeks so I can finally play him again. And even though the coach was like, he's on the pitch count, dude, I'm still going to put him in there because the last game, the game he got hurt, he went up against Arizona and he had like 150 yards rushing. So I wanted to see it again, and this is what happened. ESPN projected him for 13 points, and he finished with 36. 16 rushes for 143 yards and 8.9 yards per carry, but he also has 6 receptions for 61 yards, 2 touchdowns on 6 targets. His rushing yards over expected was 71, the highest of the week. His rushing yards over expected per attempt was 4.43, and that's the highest of the week. Out of the 7 games, he has scored 20-plus points in 4 of them. Right. I mean, out of his 7 games, he has scored 20-plus points in 4 of them.
He is literally the next running back after CMC right now. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, granted, 2 of those teams that he scored these 20-plus points was against the Cardinals, but
I was going to say
right now he is RB6 for ESPN, and he came back at a good time. The next game, they're home against the Browns, who just gave up 100 yards plus to the Broncos running backs.
Yeah, and then Jason, what? The Rams have a slightly worse than average playoff schedule, 21st. They have the 8th best wide receiver schedule, so it might swing back to him not catching so many goddamn balls. But still, dude, Kyren Williams is a top 3 running back play in it, or something like that. I got to look at running backs again, but right now I'm just like, holy shit, man, he's back.
Yeah, they use him around the goal line a lot, passing or rushing, and that's huge.
And so he scored all these points, only playing 61% of LA snaps. That was game script related because they got up huge. He had a 19% target share, Jason. So that's insane. I do not expect that to happen because Puka gets like a 30 and Cooper gets like a 30. So it's like I do not expect that to continue. But Kyren Williams just running the goddamn ball is enough.
Right. And I mean, it is great too that he could catch the ball out of the backfield in case they get to a point where it's like they're playing catch up and they can't run the ball. He's going to be able to get you some points. Maybe not the 6 receptions, but like I said, his 2 touchdowns were at the goal line. So that's money.
All right,
cash
Jason,
money.
Cash money. That's money. That's money, dude. All right. Rashee Rice, Jason, is next. This guy, I think he might be 50% owned. I think he's a little bit more. We're talking about Amon-Ra Brown-ish, how to finish the year like that one year you won people leagues. You won your dad that league, our league. Rashee Rice could come on hot in the next month. Who knows? 10 targets, Jason. How do you feel about Rashee Rice?
Well, I feel great since I started him in my flex. And he was projected 7 points, and he finished with 21. 8 receptions, 107 receiving yards, 1 touchdown on 10 targets. He was first on the team in targets. Rice targeted air yards was 3.8, which is near the line of scrimmage. But he averaged a 9.2 yards after catch. That is 3 points above expectation. And that was 6 for wide receivers in week 12. This game was like scripted for Rice because Rice has earned 0.61 fantasy points per route run against zone, the 3rd best mark among wide receivers. And Rice is also the clear leader at Kansas City against zone with a 87.2 receiving grade, which is 6, and 3.54 yards per route run, which is 2nd. Next week, they're at Green Bay, and they play zone, and Green Bay plays zone coverage at a top 10 rate.
Jason, you're so good, man. You're so good. It's funny because you think Kelsey would be the zone, man, because he just fucking sits down in zone. But I think that's like, oh, sorry, Jason, what?
No, I agree because that's zone. That's Kelsey's specialty is zone, but I think it's
probably just for wide receivers as well. But still, that's amazing for a rookie wide receiver to know because like usually rookie wide receivers are all about man. They're just like fucking to know where to sit down and shit. That's good. So for a rookie wide receiver, that's great. Jason, if I had Rashee Rice, I would not try to trade him away unless it's something fucking guaranteed. Like, unless you're packaging him up and getting somebody badass. But I do not think people value him the same that they should because there is potential for him to blow up. He's very few, rookie wide receivers are getting this kind of usage this late in the year, Jason. So, I mean, people talk about Tank Dell and shit. Rashee Rice had a better game.
Yeah, he did. And he was projected less points, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I was a Rashee Rice owner, I would hold and hope that he explodes the next 2 weeks and then start him in your playoffs.
I will do that. I'm starting him next week against Green Bay. Shoot.
Green Bay's defense has been really good against wide receivers. That's the only issue. All right, Mr. Jason, number 4. Oh, we got my namesake. My namesake is living on in the NFL. Tyler Higbee, Jason. He used to get hyper targeted back in the day. He used to get super targets.
Yeah, for real.
What do you think?
Yeah, we got 2 Rams players on smashes, and they're not Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua.
That's crazy.
ESPN projected Higbee with 4 points. He finished with 16, 5 receptions, 29 yards with 2 touchdowns on 5 targets. Higbee averages 5 points a game and did not have a touchdown all year. He is rostered in 41% of leagues. Then he went and had a boom week against the Cardinals, who give up 10 points to tight ends for the year. Tyler,
2 tight ends.
Was Higbee on your waiver show?
Shit. No, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Dude, he's only had so I was like, all right, because just because people blow up once, like especially if they're veterans, like if they're a rookie or something, I pay close attention to it. But dude, this fool has had such a shitty year. Like he's been invisible. He's had only a 10% target share, Jason, since Cooper Kupp came back, and they have everybody on the field at the same time. These were his first touchdowns of the season. I was like, dude, this is just. He had he had 20 or 30 yards this game on 5 targets or some shit.
29 yards, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, if it wasn't for these touchdowns, we wouldn't even be talking about him. So I think it was just, down there in the goal line, he caught his touchdowns. The way the coverage was going, the field has shrunk. And yeah, I would not bank on this. And your floor is like 2 points, Jason. So I did not put him in the waiver show.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go out and try, even though I just lost like Mark Andrews, I'm not going to try and go out and get Tyler Higbee because he could revert back to his 2 points a game. Oh,
I mean, if he doesn't catch one of those touchdowns, he's still like under 10 points.
Yeah,
No, he's got 10 points. So it's just like, it's just very scary, man. That guy's floor is crazy. I need my tight end to be a little bit like, maybe 20%, 18% target share. 10% is fucking terrible.
We need to see more of a trend than just one. Right now, the trend is that he plays well once every 12 weeks.
Yeah, so if you have Tyler Higbee, for some reason, you probably should not. I'm sure he was started in 0% of leagues, unless you just gave up on your fucking league and just left him to start.
Right.
Do not trade for him. Do not try to trade. I mean, try to trade him away if you can, but good luck with that too. All right, Jason, on to the crashes. Are you ready? Damn, dude, usually then I fall into the ocean. Those are my nightmares. It goes car crash. Just like what you
dude,
did.
I know, man. Going off the bridge, yeah.
And then I'm like, this is it. And I always tell myself, no, I'm really dying. This is not a dream. Yeah. This is real. I'm dying. And then I wake up. It's like, fuck.
Soaking
wet.
Why
would I tell myself it's not a dream when I'm in a dream? That doesn't make a sense.
You peed the bed. It's like soaked. It's crazy.
Oh, I wish I peed the bed. At least I wouldn't be freezing when I woke up.
Yep. Oh, because it's warm. Yeah. Body temperature. I get that.
Whatever, dude. I don't care.
You fall. Right, you crash into the Atlantic Ocean. You make up cold. All right, let's go.
Oh shit! None of that water's ever warm, dude.
Okay.
Anyways, Jason, Tua Tagovailoa, he did crash. And hey, man, when he faces a defense that can put a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
It does not hold up well. He was doing okay in the beginning of the year with it, but man, just like last year, it's just kind of reared its ugly head again, man. If you put pressure on this offensive line, this team does not function right.
Yeah. So before we went to Tua, the person I had up here in the crashes was going to be Mac Jones, just honorable mention because he was projected 11 points and he finished with -1. But I think we're at that point right now. It's like, yeah, dude. We know Mac Jones sucks. This is a second time with -1 points, and he's been on crashes like 3 or 4 times. Like, we get it. The offense is horrible. He's horrible. Let's move on. The next up was Tua Tagovailoa. ESPN was projected 17 points, but he finished with 7. He had 21 completions on 30 attempts, 243 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and 1 fumble loss. And, I was watching this game. Overall, there wasn't much difference in stats from this game and his season average. his average completion air yards and intended air yards were down a few points from his season average, but that was pretty much it. His completion percentage was the same, around 70%. The only difference is that he had 3 turnovers, and it's his 5th game of the year with multiple turnovers. Next week, he'll likely bounce back playing against the Commanders, but then he will face the Jets again, and in Week 15, he plays the Cowboys. Or he plays the Jets in Week 15, and then he plays the Cowboys in Week 16. Both a lot of opportunity for him to throw more turnover or interceptions, to fumble the ball even more. This is that tough matchup. Once he gets past the Commanders, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for him in the playoffs, and that's why he was on our must sell for fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, start everybody against the Commanders. They're going to start a band. It's going to be a 70s band. It's going to be called the Commandors. Break on through the other side.
Because they command
that's
doors.
A band called the Doors.
The Commandors. And I command them. I command those doors.
All right, man. So yeah, Tua, I mean, shit. I was writing that when you were writing that. Stop me if you already read this. With an average, I thought this was cool. Tua and Tyreek Hill, 35-yard reception, connect for the 15th time this season on a quick pass. Quick passes are under 2.5 seconds and over 10 air yards. That is the most in the NFL. The next closest quarterback wide receiver duo has only 10. That's Tua and Waddle. So these super fast, 10-yard slants that they do, man. That's fucking crazy. And it's like nobody else does it like the Dolphins. I just thought that was kind of cool. I was gonna say it's very easy for a quarterback when you just take 2 steps back and throw it to one of your wide receivers on a slant. Yeah, and it's just like, dude, he has like the 2 quickest throw times in the season. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. He was only pressured on 14.7% of his dropbacks, Jason. I don't know. He's been kind of confusing me lately. I do like Tua. I think he's a winner. And this offense sets up great for a quarterback. With these 2 wide receivers on these quick routes and everything, I don't trust him with his playoff schedule, man. It's not going to be good. Just look at every single time he faces a tough defense. It's like 13 points, 10 points, 11 points. Then he faces a shitty team, 25 points. Yeah. Yeah. And he's got 3 tough teams in the fantasy playoffs, so that's why we're saying to trade him away. Who did they go against, Jason? I should know this. So they play the Commanders next week. And then who did they play this week? The Jets. Yeah, that's why. Fucking A, dude. And then they play the Jets again in 2 weeks, and then they play the Cowboys in 3 weeks. Yeah. So it wasn't so much the quarterback pressures that the Jets were generating. It's just the goddamn cornerbacks there, dude. So because those cornerbacks were awesome. I was watching that. Sauce Gardner breaking up that touchdown. Yeah. All right, Jason. I tried to trade for this dude relentlessly for a while. I was like, this is one of the guys I was like, when there's like a stud running back on injured reserve or whatever, or that's injured, I always try to trade for him in the middle of the year. Me too. Because maybe I can afford it. I can afford to lose some games, and I'm hoping that guy is desperate and trades me that person. Then he comes back off of injury and just kills it like Kyren Williams. Well, guess what, dude? Saquon came back from injury, and this is a shit show. He lives off of volume, like you said. Yeah. But not get the volume. Right. He was projected 13 points, and he finished with 4.5. 12 rushes for 45 yards, which is 3.8 yards per carry. He had 1 reception for 6 yards on 3 targets. For only 12 rushing attempts, Barkley was effective against the Patriots defense that allows 20 points to running backs, which is about middle of the league. All of his next-gen stats were positive. 41% of his rushing yards were over expected, but he only touched the ball 13 times. Giants need to get Barkley more opportunities, even in defensive-type games, like, how it was, like the score was like 10-7. This was his lowest scoring of the year, and this is right after a monster game against the Commanders, where you put up like 26, 27 points. Yeah, and that's like I don't even count the games versus Washington, dude. You cannot judge a fantasy team off of games off of Washington. It is insane. The outlier. Yeah, but now he's going into a bye, so you can't even use him this week if you wanted to. Yeah, dude, he's got 1 rushing touchdown on the season, Jason. That was week 2. Yeah, and he's a first-round pick. It's fucking insane. So, and we're like, remember, we had to put him up there. I was like, we were lower on him than anybody because their offensive line was like 32nd out of 32. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, how are you going to draft I don't care who it is, dude. How is this guy going to do well? And you're looking at it, man. Like he needs volume against certain defenses, and he doesn't. And that's not going to happen. So, season low in carries, in targets, 46 rushing yards, season low. Jason, would you try to trade for Saquon, or would you just let it be?
No, it's over. Let it be.
So if you have Saquon, just go off of his name, dude. I would try to trade it for Kenneth Walker, for God's sakes, dude. Somebody, anybody, do what you can. Devin Singletary, man, go out there and get you some fucking Devin Singletary. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of what I did with Garrett Wilson before he started getting all these targets. Like, I just traded him for a bag of rocks, and I got Jalen Warren. Yeah.
So Saquon Barkley is a league losing player this year. It's not quite his fault. We overdrafted him, even though we had him low. We still had him higher than he should have been. But it was Saquon fucking Barkley. What are you supposed to do? Put him behind, I don't even know.
Yeah, I get it.
Behind Raheem Mostert or something, in the 10th round. So, Jason, Saquon Barkley, we're off the list. On to the next one, Jason. This guy, he was burning bright in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
My ex-Viking, Adam Thielen, University of Minnesota. I think.
I think he might be right. ESPN projected 11 points, and he finished with 0.5. 1 reception for 2 yards on 3 targets. This is by far the worst scoring from Thielen this season, and it's a defense that gives up 38 points to wide receivers. This should have been easy money for Adam Thielen, and it wasn't. He's gone bankrupt. Since they're buying week 7, Thielen has scored over 10 points twice. Before their bye in week 7, Thielen had 10 points in 5 of the 6 games with 3 20-point games. Are we losing trust in Thielen, Tyler? I believe I am.
Yeah, and so I think the big thing here is that the offensive coordinator is changing. We saw what that did for, Buffalo, for the Steelers. Offensive coordinators are super important. I like offensive line, and then I like offensive coordinators as far as variables that we should be paying more attention to. So who knows what's going to happen after this? Adam Thielen, though, like Jason, you said, this is PPR. He was a PPR king. I think he was number 2 PPR wide receiver at one time. 8.7 PPR points per game over the last month, 4 games. Across his first 7, that number was 20.2. So over a 50% decrease in points, Jason, like a 55% decrease in points over that amount of time, and nothing's going to get better, dude. I mean, even with that change in offensive coordinator, if I have Adam Thielen, I am packaging him to get a Tank Dell, to get somebody, Jason, that you might be able to, pull off just by people remember how good Adam Thielen was. Plus, I don't know what wide receiver he is, but I'm sure he's like wide receiver 15 or something still.
I think he is wide receiver 15. I think you're right. Good call on that. And one of my things I'm thinking of is like, dude, he was getting all these receptions, these yards in the first half of the year. Who's it going to now? Well, Mingo had 60.
Mingo and Hubbard.
He had 47. It's like, it's not like it's actually going. Bryce Young's not even throwing for 200 yards. And he threw 31 times.
Dude, you need touchdowns and like you need like a 60% target share in that offense. And it's just, I don't know. It's just not going to happen. So Adam Thielen, like we said, try to trade him away if you can. Do not bank on things turning around for him. Even though there is a slight chance with the offensive coordinator change, I just would not bet on it. All right, Jason, you ready to wrap this up with Dalton?
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz, man. He's been kind of all over the place this year. For a tight end, he's actually been pretty good, but on the crash list, Jason.
Yep. ESPN projected him at 8 points, and he finished with 0.5. Did I just do... Oh, no, he had the same as Adam Thielen. Okay. Woo. 1 reception for 2 yards on 2 targets. C.J. Stroud had another monster game. I'm actually surprised Schultz was not more involved, since Jacksonville is very friendly with tight end scoring. In the last 5 games, he does well every other game, which means the trend says Schultz should do well next week against the Broncos, who are first in most points given up to tight ends.
Jason, how many yards did he have this game?
2.
Yeah. So he has a season. That was a season low in targets and yards. Then I was like, are those his targets? No, those are his fucking yards. He has games of 4 yards, 9 yards, and 5 yards. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, dude?
Crazy, huh?
This guy's floor is 0, Jason. It is 0. It's 0. I mean, well, 0.5, I guess, in our league. 3 receptions over the last 2 games, 5 touchdowns on the year. But hey, dude, you want a piece of this offense? I mean, any given time, he could blow up again. But, you know, Tank Dell blowing up, and now Noah Brown will be back. He is a slot receiver. I would be wary of this. Jason, I forgot to say go trade for Noah Brown if you can. If you can, go trade for Noah Brown. Dude, veteran slot receivers are great to pair with young rookie wide receivers. Bobby Trees has not been doing shit since Noah Brown left with the injury. Go trade for Noah Brown if you can.
Yeah, I think Robert Woods, USC. He had something in the very beginning of the year, but now with Tank Dell coming along, it's kind of becoming irrelevant.
Yeah, but when I look at their snaps play, Jason, on that cheat sheet and stuff, it's all like Tank Dell and Nico Collins are the outside wide receivers. It is all Noah Brown's and what's his name, Bobby Trees. So Noah Brown, man, I think that there is a huge part of this offense waiting for him still.
Go get him. Go fish him up.
All right. Is that it, Jason?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, everybody. That is the show. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up. Hopefully we earned a subscription. If you are not already subscribed, we do need the help. Please support this show. Jason, send us out.
All right, so we got a couple more videos coming out this week. We got the player pause for Thursday night. It's Seattle at the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be watching that game. I am doing the Seattle Seahawks player pause. That's coming out Wednesday. Tyler's player pause for the Dallas Cowboys is coming out Thursday. And then Saturday we have, what's that thing we do? The weekend wrap up.
I'm playing a Key and Peele skit in my head right now.
Anyway, make sure to keep an eye out for those videos. They'll help you if you have any questions for the player pause, starter sit. Until then, I'll speak to you in the videos. Deuces.
Catch you on the flip side.